Hello and welcome to the Success Showcase. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin from the Modern Observer Group. And with me, as always, is Chip Janiszewski from the Happiness and Success GPS. Chip, how are you doing this week?
Doing great. How about you, Eric?
Doing fantastic.
Can't believe it's January already. Next Monday's February 1st. One more winter month down.
Yeah, time tends to go quickly. Not only are we zipping through winter, but I was just taking a look at past podcasts, and we are at 155 episodes already.
Whoa.
So we've been doing this a while, got it under our belts. And of course, the best shows are when we've got special guests, and we've got one here today. Avi Smith-Rappaport is a remarkable man. Aside from being a business owner, he's an Ironman triathlete. During COVID, he spearheaded a program to get computers into the hands of those that didn't have it so they could do remote learning. We're just absolutely thrilled to have him. Avi, welcome.
Wow, that's a very nice intro. Thank you. I'm absolutely thrilled to be here with two solid men out there making it happen. Thank you for having me.
No, it's awesome to have you here. I mean, I go way back on the networking scene. I'm sure you do with Eric too, but I mean, you do so many wonderful things. You started your business, early 2000s, and the other things that you've done. I mean, you have done work in the Dominican Republic and a lot of other things too. So, I mean, besides having a wonderful, wonderful company, you're just multifaceted. You're talking about trying to get yourself less busy, and I don't know what you're going to knock off to do that, but God bless you.
I mean, every day when I wake up, Chip, it's like the world needs some more help. It's like, can't it just stay fixed one of these days? So yes, there's unfortunately, not unfortunately, it's the way it is, man. So yeah, I'm going to be doing what I can and trying to do and doing my part for as long as I'm able, for sure.
Yeah, and you've certainly done a lot, but let's start with your business. You founded it in the early 2000s. Tell us how you made the decision to go into business and what your journey's looked like since then.
All right. Thank you. It's a good question to start us off. 2004, January 1st was the official beginning of We Care. It was a phenomenal time in my life. And it was quite a busy time. How I started? Well, I was working for a private company at the time, and out of school, I also worked for a private university for a while. And I had my oldest son was already a couple years old by then, and my youngest son, he was just born, I guess, the year before, 2003. Yeah. So there was a lot going on in my family and personal life, and I was seeing the need for more for the family. We had a lot of new income needs and lots of things to buy with the kids growing up and all that great stuff. So initially, I just started We Care as a side kind of business. I did it on the weekends and nights because with young kids you're up anyway. So what's the difference? And very little kids, and that did really well. But the clientele I had were residential people that needed help, and they worked during the day, so they need help in the evenings or weekends. They didn't care, which was great. And things were going quite well at the job, but there was always this overriding feeling that I'm not sure if I was made or built to work for someone else, or at least the culture. I have this story that I share, which I believe it's true. I remember it to this day. On my first day of work at a private company, I was told by the HR manager person, whoever's going over my benefits, whatever they were, the term they used, this is day one of me working at this new exciting company. It was very exciting for me. A headhunter placed me there. It was this big deal for me. The word she said was, if you last past 6 months here, then then whatever would kick in. And I was like, slow down. Like, I'm all fired up and like, boom, like a kick right to the face. And yeah, so right then and there, that was, day one was already like, what's going on here? Is this a culture that I want to be a part of? Because you guys, I've known you guys for a while, so I certainly am very serious when we need to be serious. But why do anything if you're not going to have fun with it or enjoy it? So I don't know. I thought that, hey, maybe, just maybe, even though I'm just a guy, I was out of school, had a couple of years of work experience, maybe I could do something a little bit better, or something that's at least better for me and my family. And that's really where We Care kind of came about, and also what we stand for. The things with integrity and communication and those kinds of things that are very important for our entire team. I mean, that's really where it started getting shaped, seeing what other companies were doing that did not necessarily jive well with me and or make me feel good. Like, I can't imagine anyone coming into a company and being told something like that would make them feel good or excited about the position. I don't know. I could be crazy. You never know.
No, that's definitely an odd comment to make to a new hire if you make it to 6 months. It's like they're basically telling you, we have a lot of turnover. You're probably not going to like it here. I mean,
right? Like, yeah. And I was so new that I don't like, now when I hear myself say that, I'm like, yeah, I mean, you know a lot more of what was really behind that of what she was saying. But yeah. That was an interesting experience for me. But in a positive note, that's where We Care was born. And we've had our challenges over the years, but we're certainly on a really fantastic street. We're poised really well, and I have I'm so blessed to have the team that I have on my side. It's every day I wake up and just am thankful for the people that I have to count on and help carry out this vision. And we really have quite a tight-knit team also.
Yeah, how big is your staff right now, Avi? Because I remember going back with our wonderful friend Jesse, and I think there weren't too many other people.
Jesse was phenomenal. Yeah, right now we're about the 10 person mark. So we're just under that right now, and with but it's up in the air because we're doing really well. We did get hit quite a bit with COVID. Our customers got hit. I mean, we deal a lot, as you guys know, in small to medium-sized businesses, and luckily we deal in a lot of different industries, but a couple of industries that we support got hit real hard, and we had a number of clients that had to shut down their businesses, which is very unfortunate. And we're just trying to working with our current clients and new potential clients and figuring out plans that can really work even with all this uncertainty going on. So we're a really solid team, and that's where we are right now. Yeah.
And so how has the business evolved since you started it? I mean, obviously you've grown, but you're also offering different services now than you used to.
Absolutely. When I first started, so again, that's 2004. The idea of MSP or managed services provider was not a thing that existed, and that's just basically, guys, pretty much having an outsourced IT company to handle all your company's needs. And basically, we like to come up with one monthly fee to incorporate all of the services you'll need. So that's for us, when we come into new opportunities, new client conversations, this is the name of the game in the conversation. But years ago, that wasn't. That was a big thing we were working on that not everyone was ready for. So how it's changed, like way back when, was a very much there's still stores like this now. Some big box stores offer this. My computer is broken. We don't have any relationship with you. Let me come over and you can fix it, whatever it is. It needs a new hard drive, a new operating system. It's not turning on, all those kinds of things. So that's a pay-as-you-go kind of model. Well, that doesn't work so hot if you want to budget as a company. So using an IT support service, that doesn't really work well for you, because now you have $1,000 paying one month and $200 another month, and you're not sure, is everything working or not. So this model is a proactive model that we have now, where you're paying a monthly fee that, can go up or down depending on the number of users you have. But we like to come up with something that works for both of us. And then, it's consistent. And what you're getting with it is anything you're going to need pending, you grow by 20 employees or some major exciting things. That we'd tweak it from there. But yeah, this model is a lot more exciting for us because we're able to better budget our employees and their time and our clients as well. So we've had some clients who've been around for a long time. We have some fabulous clients. We have some really strong relationships with our clients, and we've been able to show with, we can come up with graphs and numbers and show them how their spending has been, and we can actually now provide more services for either the same or sometimes even a little bit less money, and just to really have them go to one place to take care of so much. It's really been helpful. And these days there's so many vendors doing this, and sometimes some vendors might, when things go wrong, instead of like helping solve the problem, they might start blaming. So we're really we like to get away from all those games, and we just like to deal with integrity. And when there's issues, we will handle the issue and we'll figure it out together, and we'll move on. So that's the biggest change for us. How we do business has changed. Is that what you were meaning, or kind of like what we're doing these days?
That's a good answer.
Keeping up with the technology and everything that's going on, because obviously everything is changing, going to social media and everything else. And one of the nice things that you do for your clients and for other people who aren't even your clients like me right now, is sending out your newsletter from time to time, or if something's going on, just an FYI type thing. And I'm sure that this is a great service to your clients, but to a whole lot of other people too.
Thank you. Yeah, we really try to have our newsletter be. We like to have something. I don't really think we make it salesy at all. It's more we try to make it teaching. So there's something to learn. Usually technology or something in the news, like you're saying. But we also want to put in like who we are. I think you mentioned before that the DR trips that unfortunately last year we didn't get to go to support the community there because of COVID. But in previous years, I've been going to the Dominican Republic, and when we share those stories coming back and the pictures, we got a lot of great feedback that people not only want to know what we can do for their networks and their employees and protect them, but also, hey, these are real people, and what are they doing in the world? So thank you for mentioning that. We never know how people are going to take it. Recently, I think you guys know, we ran a happiness seminar, and people were like, happiness seminar? What does that have to do with IT? So, well, we think it has actually a lot to do with IT, even though it's not specifically technological. But happy employees, they're going to be more productive. Happier employees have less issues. Happier people are more fun to be around. Our clients, that communicate with us, our clients are happy with their IT. So that's great. How can we make them happy not only with their IT? So it seems like a little bit of a stretch, but we don't care. It's good. We're trying to spread out good in the world, and if it helps our clients, great. If it helps not our clients and they hear about us, hey, that's also great. Because to survive, we also need more clients. That's a true story, also.
Fantastic. Now, you just touched on your annual trip to the Dominican Republic. Why don't you tell our listeners a bit about how that got started and what you do down there?
Absolutely. The way I heard about this was my older son Sam was starting in high school, and his Spanish teacher brought up the fact that they were doing this service trip in the Dominican Republic, and he was at a magnet school in Hartford for high school, and the woman mentioned that they also worked with the Watkinson School, which is a school right in Hartford, Bloomfield line, right next to the University of Hartford. And my son, being who he was, when the teacher asked for volunteers, said, my dad will volunteer. And this is like, he literally heard about it in class that day, right? There wasn't like a texting to me or like, would you be interested? So he comes home, tells me about this, and he's like, you're right, son. I would like to chaperone such a trip. And so initially it was just a fun thing to do with my son and go out and do some good in the world. And we started having meetings, and the team. So these are all high school. I mean, there's adult chaperones coming, but the main group of people are high school kids. So I think they're from sophomore through senior year. And the first year, I don't know how many we had, about 40-ish kids or so. We had meetings at Watkinson. We're getting together, learning each other, playing learning games. We were organizing lots of supplies. So the trip is aimed at supporting the Bate is one of them. Bate in the Dominican Republic is the name of the villages that sugarcane workers live on. And they do not get support. The private ones do not get support from the government at all. And they make very minimal money. Like it's very disheartening how they're treated. Anyhow, through that also, we're also supporting multiple other communities. We bring a contingent of doctors to help see as many patients as we can during the time. And we also are helping building a school. So it's a multifaceted trip. And it's just been absolutely phenomenal. So going there, seeing these high school kids give of themselves was just, it opened. I mean, I don't know. It was the second day on the trip, I was already in love with all the people there. I mean, we're working hand in hand with these people who have nothing. And it's I've never experienced people living in such a manner, and it really struck home with me. And then what really uplifted me was all these kids, and we're talking about kids from Hartford, Glastonbury, all different towns, varying degrees of haves, have-nots, and just watching them give of themselves and get dirty and shovel through mud and other yucca stuff and build these houses. I mean, it was just, it's still, I get chills when I talk about it now. And to see my son be a part of this and like him, I grew up, with a learn that you want to take care of your world out there, and to see him taking a step towards doing this and him being the driving force at it just blew me away. And I still have a bunch of the kids when I see them. My younger son is still goes to school there. They're not on campus now; they're virtual. But it's nice. I can see some of my kids who I took on these trips, and just hearing how amazing they're doing in life. And that is one of the most impactful things that I've been a part of over the past. Well, it's been five years now. We've been going 4 years. We didn't go last year.
Yeah, that's just amazing. I mean, unfortunately, here in the United States, we tend to forget that even the poorest people that live in the U.S. are among the top 1% globally. So there are so many people out there that need the help. And it's fantastic that the schools are doing this, that you chaperone those trips. It really gets you right into the heart of it.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think you see news, but news is a little removed more often than not. And you don't, it's not really hitting you. Being there and working with these people and just interacting and seeing the smiles, and that these are people just like you, and they just are in these circumstances that they're in right now. And it's really, really hard to get out. And what can we do to support them? And the organization that we work with is doing more than just having us do that. They're helping to sponsor some of the kids who are more adept at school to try to help them, because when we can get those kids educated, they can become doctors or lawyers or whatever they want, and then they can help their families and help provide, because it's so hard when you're they're stuck. They can't go anywhere. They don't have money to go anywhere. A lot of them came over from Haiti with a promise of a better life. And it's pretty much there's a lot of stuff online you can see about the sugar trade and all that. I don't want to go into that because I want to keep it positive, but thank you. Yeah, we're doing what we can, and with COVID, it's really difficult. And my leader, Jenny from Watkinson, who's amazing, she's trying to figure something out so we can do some sort of support to help them while we can't really be there.
Yeah, and I imagine that even though you're over there and these people are in what we would call dire straits or whatever, they're probably some of the happiest, most grounded people you ever met in your life. Would you agree with that?
Oh my goodness. I have some videos and of just us playing with the kids, because also part of our trip, yes, we're there to work, and we are go there, we're going to build a house for someone who's going to live in this house before we leave for that week. But yeah, you see these kids and what are they playing with? They don't have action figures so much or that. I mean, some people bring things like that, but that's not really their thing. They're just playing, have a good time, singing songs, and they just love to be around you. I mean, and just the smiles and it's, yeah, it's just so wonderful. So a big part of that is also engaging in the community there while we're putting it together, because these are strangers coming in to come help. But like, okay, do they know me? So we're encouraged, and it's amazing watching the transformation of these kids. You're shaking hands with these people, looking them in the eye and listening, like showing them you are important. Tell me what's going on. I don't speak Spanish very well, so that, I mean, I'm there to engage and I listen, and once in a while I can get an interpreter near me so I can actually have a bit of a conversation, which is nice. But even just existing with we're done carrying rocks for a while, and we just kind of hang out, and I don't know, sometimes you just stand there, you're like holding hands or just like looking at each other, and it's just like, I don't know, it's just perfect, just being with another human and showing them that they're important, because all their lives they've not been told that. So it's really important to me to instill that in them, and we come because we think you're worth it. You know what I mean? But yes, they're so happy, Chip, and we have a lot to learn from that for sure. Stuff doesn't make us happy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just absolutely amazing. Let's bring this back home. And of course, during COVID, you spearheaded work to get computers to students who didn't have them so that they could do remote learning. So how did that come about? And, what happened with that? How's that going?
Gosh, good one. That's a good one. Yeah, we came up with what we called it the We Care Computer Students in Need program back, I think, in March. We do a lot. So I said before, we work with a lot of small to medium sized businesses. So attorneys is one of our verticals. So, okay, you're a law firm and you're 20 people, 20 machines. Okay, you need new machines. So where do those 20 machines go? Oftentimes, if you're a company, you're upgrading at a reasonable interval, like 2 to 5 years, your machines to get new equipment, whatever. Well, so these machines can be usable for someone. So in the past, we'd recycle equipment for our customers, or they would recycle it with a local recycler. But all this stuff came out about virtual learning, and then we saw people looking for machines. So we thought, maybe this is an opportunity here. So Zach Coffey, he's our IT manager at WeCare, phenomenal guy. He got together and said, "Hey, I think we can get out some machines to people." I said, "Yeah, let's get this cooking." So we took in donations from customers. We took in donations from the public. We started posting about it. I did a bunch of videos talking about it. We also have a GoFundMe it's still up now because we still have so much need. But it was phenomenal. So we took in all these machines and all these recycled machines, and the guys worked tirelessly to clean them up, get things functional. All the kids needed a webcam, so those were, I think they're still scarce, but back then, oh my gosh, it was very hard to get our hands on any of those. But we got some donations, so it was phenomenal. So we've gotten out. Gosh, I don't know the last count, but if we look at it monetarily wise, I mean, over $50,000 in devices to students from all over the state. We started getting so many requests, and we just had to keep a list, and we got them out as fast as we could, and we still have more needs. So, yeah, I don't know if we do links with this or not, but I mean, at WeCare, you can find links to our GoFundMe page for their students in need. And it's been amazing, and the feedback is just phenomenal. I mean, I said it before, looking in the DR, like, it's very important education. So education for WeCare, for me, is also vital. So this was just like perfect. and some organizations recognized us, which was just so lovely. And we're looking to get out more machines to more kids, because there is so much more need right here at home than we would think, or than I thought, I should say.
Yeah, you've done so much. And, we've talked about your building a business. We've talked about your trips to Dominican Republic and giving back to the community. And yet, with all of that going on, you have managed to be an Ironman triathlete. So, first of all, how do you make the decision to do an Ironman? Okay, well, I'll let first for our listeners, why don't you describe what an Ironman triathlon is?
Okay, awesome. Yes, triathlon is my sport, and triathlon is swim, bike, run. So the first part of any triathlon is a swim portion, and then a bike portion, and then the run to finish it off. So an Ironman an Ironman distance triathlon is quite long. That's where you have a 2.4 mile swim to start your day. Then you have a 112-mile bike, and then you finish it off with a nice little marathon, which is 26.2 miles.
I'm exhausted just hearing that.
It's they're long, very fulfilling, oftentimes very difficult days, for sure.
Oftentimes.
Right. So how did you get started in that?
Well, I've been into fitness. I guess I was into sports, so team sports. As you get older, it seemed, for me at least, it was harder to get a team together to do these things. Then you have wives and families and all this stuff to deal with. So, okay, what are some sports I could do on my own? So I think I picked up running initially, which I enjoyed. And then cycling, I was always very strong at cycling, and I enjoy it. So I was doing that. Then there was this teacher I worked at the JCC often, and there was this woman who's been doing these triathlons, and she's like, "Oh, you guys should totally come check it out." She's still at triathlon. She's awesome. Her name's Esther. Avon lady. She's awesome. Anyways, she was like getting everyone fired up about doing these triathlons. So I started there's right in Farmington, Winding Trails, and they had a triathlon series. So I think my first one was there. It's like, whoa, this is fun. And that was if we're going to talk distances, I think about a half-mile swim. It was mountain biking there, so a 5-mile mountain bike and then a 3-mile run. So it's more shorter than an Ironman. Certainly awesome. And I started there, and I just got the bug. I mean, it was challenging. I think it was challenging was my biggest thing, and it really pushed me. I mean, with everything going on, you're right. There's a lot going on in my life, and this is a very healthy outlet for me. So when I was training for the big races, I've completed 4 already in my career. The big races, I raced smaller ones every year except last year. And it's just early days. So when you're going to train to bike 112 miles in a race, I'd wake up really early, like on a Sunday, to do my long rides, and I'd probably get upstairs about lunchtime with the family to have lunch, and then probably go for a run after that, because you want to break your workout so your body can get used to biking after running. Running after biking, or biking after swimming. I think the challenge really is what still drives me. And when I look at something and I get a little scared by it, but I know it's a healthy, a legal, whatever kind of thing, then to me, I think in my mind, like, all right, why is that scaring you? And what can we do so it doesn't scare you? Or what do you need to do to conquer that fear? So triathlon I could talk about for all day long. I don't know if that's answering your question or if I'm just rambling, but wow. Yeah. Triathlon is a big part of my life. And again, for those of you who are looking for healthy outlets or things to work out what you have going on in your head, I mean, swimming, biking, or running is great. If you want to put them together, even better. Happy to chat with anyone about that. But yeah, yeah, the challenge, man. The challenge is I think what drives me.
That is amazing. And unfortunately, we are hitting the end of our time. So before we go, Avi, for anybody that wants to get more information about We Care Computers, where can they go?
They can definitely go to the internet at wecarecomputers.com. And there they'll find all our contact info. If they want to call us, the number's there, or I can say 860-836-4191.
Excellent. So, Chip, what do you think is the big takeaway for this episode for our listeners?
Man, we could do another half an hour show just on that. I mean, the seventh of Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is sharpening the saw. I think you take that to the next level for sure. But, you know, hearing about your first day at work where the sign on the wall probably said the beatings will continue until morale improves. Founding We Care Computers, and most importantly, I mean, you got a full-time job and you're a full-time public servant. Community intellect and positivity is the main thing that keeps you going and can keep everybody going. And it is a choice every single moment, as we talk about all the time. So God bless you, Avi. So great to have you here, and just keep on keeping on, man.
Thank you, guys. This is an absolute pleasure, and I appreciate all you guys do out there. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we're so glad you could be with us. I think for me, the big takeaway was summed up near the end when you said, why does this scare me and how can we make it not scary? It's like, that's it. It's just, you know, facing your fears and moving forward. That's a great message for people. So thank you so much for being here.
Oh, that's great. Absolutely.
You've been listening to the Success Showcase, part of the Xvadio Podcast Network. You can find us every week at xvadio.com/podcasts. You can also find us in the Apple Podcasts app, Google Play, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, and wherever you find podcasts. Remember, make this your best week ever and make next week even better. We'll see you then.